Hey there. Currently, I'm working on this project, and what this project is a React application that allows a user to fetch and replay games played on chess.com. Before I get into the code, let's just quickly take a look at what my site does. So let's go ahead and so I've already built it, so let's just serve the site. So this is what it would look like if it were deployed, and it currently is deployed on Netlify. So once you go on to the page, this is a single page application, and currently I haven't implemented the backend yet. What I have in mind is to allow registration and login for future users, so then they have the option to save their search results from this application, from this React application. So as you can see here, I have this nav bar and I have this sidebar, and they're both pretty much the same thing. So I have, in the future when I build out more features, I would just add them in, and then I think I would also need to decide whether or not I want to keep both or just keep one. And then this app is also mobile friendly. It's responsive. So if you were to collapse this, the sidebar would move onto the top, and then the nav bar would be collapsed. So without further ado, you do have this. Let's start. So the entry point would be the search bar. And then what the search bar is you would search a user, and then what happens is once you search a user by month, by multiple months, this would go fetch that information from chess.com's API. And the endpoint used here is the username and then the month of the games they've played. So list monthly archives. And then chess.com's API doesn't allow you to fetch archives. It doesn't allow you to fetch them. It doesn't allow you to fetch them. What's the word I'm looking for? At the same time. So the requests I had to use their dispatch method, which I guess you have to wait for a response on the first object before you can fetch a second request. So it can't be done at the same time. So initially my app only allowed the user to fetch by month, so it was only by 1 month at a time. And then I did figure out how to use their dispatch method, which once you fetch a user, it will automate the process of fetching, or once you fetch a user by a month, it will go back in time, and then it will just keep fetching until between the from and the to date. So I have a from date here and I have a to date here, and as you can see, you can type in any month, and then if you were to, there's also some error handling. So if you were to perform if your to date is before the from date, you would get this error message. Or if you forget to type in the name, it will ask you to type in a name, and then if you toggle away, it's gone. So if you were to, so this is where the starting point is. So let's search myself, and then let's search games I've played since the pandemic. So let's say January of 2020 until this month. If you search the player information pops up, and then you see this little fetcher. So what's happening is it's fetching games it's fetching games that I've played. And then as you can see, I've played I've played almost 3,000 games during the pandemic. And then the pages display the games in a fairly simple format. It would just display the game number, the date, the time control, who white was, who black was, and the result. And then you also get this snippet, this card of a player. And then so far, yeah, my app's been developed in Bootstrap. I do understand CSS, Grid, and Flex have become popular. I'm familiar with Bootstrap because that was the technology I used while I was learning to code back in 2015, 2016. So this is a skill I will continuously study, and I will like to implement that for my next project. Yeah, as you can see, this is responsibly laid out. If you were to, I can also like, if I click on a game, it would show you the game that was played then, and then if I go back, the state of the page is saved. And then I can also navigate using just the arrow key. So I'm pressing my left arrow key, and then here I'm pressing my right arrow key. And then there's also like various edge cases. So like there's time controls where I'm not sure what chess.com's, what it would look like from chess.com's API. So in that case, I just have it return as that value. So here you get this very odd looking number. This is probably some like slow game. Okay, so yeah, if you were to analyze a game, or if you were to click on a game, it would bring up that game. And then I've built this chessboard. So on a mobile device, let me just close this, toggle this. In the mobile device, this is what the app would look like. And then if you expand on this, in a small size screen, it would look like this. And then from, I believe this is mid-size or bigger, the notations component will display. And then, so I have 4 buttons here and this button. So what this button does is it flips the board from between white and black's point of view. You can start from the beginning, and then you can click on this arrow to replay the game. So this is going forward 1 move. And as you can see, the time and the notation also toggles along. So I can also use my arrow key to navigate the game, and then I can also press down twice to just quickly go down, and up to quickly go up. And then if I were to go back to games, I can look up another game. So let's look at the game I've most recently played, which was just yesterday. If I click on it, we can see that we have a game here. So let me just go over this very quickly. So black plays the perk. I develop my pieces. I don't allow b5. This is maybe a bit dubious because he has bishop g6. Prevent b, I try to gain space on the queen side. Knights being attacked, trade bishops, protect c3. Try to infiltrate the queen side and gain space. If I trade queens here, I think black has too much play on the c file. And also there's that f6 break, so I think it's better to leave the queens on. I need to protect my a pawn because it's pretty weak. And now I try to infiltrate my queen into the king side. And now I try to attack. Now I win a pawn. I have this very scary pass pawn, which he's unable to defend. And then with a little time scrambling, yeah, I have this checkmate. So yeah, there are a ton of logic done here. If you click this, you go all the way back. If you click this, you go all the way forward. And you can also click on a game that's played from that state. Currently, the notations is done using linear time. I can do better by just storing the fen, which is the position, and storing the time in a hash table. So when I click on this, I can just search by index, and then that should respond. That should provide an instantaneous return. Right now, because on my first try, I just used the third party's app. I didn't know that there was the option of hashing the different position, or hashing the game by board position and by time. So right now this is just undoing. This is just going forward. In the next version of this, I would like to allow instantaneous response. So when I click on a move here, what happens is the app would just move that many moves forward. And if I click a move that's back in time, instead of undoing, it would just reset to the beginning and then replay every move until that move. So it's very inefficient. But this is fast enough, since we're in 2022. And as long as there's not like thousands of moves in a chess game, this is already fast enough. Like, it's already practically very fast. You'll see what I mean when I talk about this in my code. And then if I were to search for another user, say Hikaru. Sure, let's do something like this. It'll just bring you to the game's page once a game is found, and then it will just keep fetching. And then if you're waiting too long and you would like the app to stop fetching, you can just click the stop button, and then yeah, the game stops around June of 2020. So as you can see, it stops fetching. Let me just check if I have any, if I got any error logs. No error log. So yeah, this is the gist of my app. Thanks for watching. I will see you again when I go over how I made this website possible. Thank you for watching.